Hi, my name is Frank Jones. Have you ever been faced with a challenge that made you want to give in? When faced with this choice, I would like to encourage you to remember this quote by Winston Churchill. This is the lesson. Never give in. Never give in. Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing great or small, large or petty, never give in except to the convictions of honor and good sense. Churchill was faced with adversity in his upbringing that could reasonably make him want to give in. But instead, he became a military leader, political figure rising to the role of prime minister 2 times, and an inspirational speechwriter as well. He unified the Allied forces that led to the defeat of Nazi Germany. I'm going to tell you about the challenge he faced in his educational career and disappointment of his father as well. His rise in the military and the political career that led to the winning of multiple honors, to include the Nobel Prize of Literature. Winston Churchill was born in Oxfordshire, England, to an aristocratic family. His father, Lord Randolph Churchill, was a British politician, and his mother, Jenny Churchill, was a socialite from America. He lived at Blenheim Palace with his parents and his younger brother John, known as Jack. Churchill and his brother had a close relationship. Due to his parents' social obligations, Churchill and his brother were primarily cared for by nannies. It was common during that time period for aristocratic families to send their children to boarding school. Winston Churchill was no exception. He went to St. George's in Berkshire, England, and was often beaten by the headmaster of the school. He left after 1 year. He was then sent to Brunswick School, and his academic performance was a bit better there. He was able to complete elementary school at this time. After elementary school, Churchill went to Harrow School, where he performed poorly in the classroom. He was very discouraged because this caused disappointment to his father. In his autobiography, My Early Life, Churchill wrote, "I had hardly ever been asked to learn anything that seemed of the slightest use or interest, or allowed me to play any game which was amusing." In retrospect, those years formed not only the least agreeable, but also the only barren and unhappy period of his life. After performing so badly at school, Churchill was sent to the military at his father's urging. Churchill failed the entrance exam to the Royal Military College at Sandhurst before finally being accepted. Due to his low entry scores, he once again disappointed his father. By qualifying for the cavalry service instead of the infantry, Churchill was better suited for the cavalry, though he ended up graduating in 1894. He was considered as a cavalry officer, and because he excelled in journalism and English, he was assigned as a war correspondent. He fought in Cuba and the Malacan Field Force and in Sudan. He also served as a war correspondent in the Boer War. In World War I, he served as lieutenant colonel on the Western Front. He resigned his commission in 1916, choosing to begin a career in politics. He first served as Minister of Munitions, followed by Secretary of State, and then during World War II, he served as Prime Minister from 1940 to 1955, and then served again in the role from 1951 to 1955. Winston Churchill's legacy is noted by his diplomacy, by his unifying speeches, and for leading Great Britain through World War II and unifying the alliances against Nazi Germany. Churchill's agile statecraft enabled Britain to form alliances with the U.S. and other nations. Through his blunt, decisive speeches, he strengthened the resolve of not only the military, but the entire nation. Churchill once said, "The key to writing a galvanizing address is to never give in. They should just crack on and do it to their best. And if they don't succeed the first time, they should try again and again and again. Try he did, and he stayed the course. VA Day, May 8, 1945, marked the victory over the evil Nazi oppression. In his speech to the people of Britain, he said, "God bless you all, this victory is yours." To which the crowd responded, "No, sir, this victory is yours." Churchill had demonstrated the same resolve in his educational and military career, and so it stood to reason that his speeches were not just words. Churchill's accomplishments were recognized worldwide, not just through his efforts as a military leader and as Prime Minister, but through being the recipient of the Order of Merit, becoming an honorary citizen of the United States, and being awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature. Churchill was presented the Order of Merit for his service in the Armed Forces in 1946. The award was established by King Edward VII. In 1963, he was presented an honorary citizenship of the United States by John F. Kennedy. Churchill was deemed the hero of two nations by Senator Stephen Young of Ohio. In 1953, Churchill was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature for his mastery of historical and biographical description, as well as for his brilliant oratory in defending exalted human values, as bestowed by the Swedish Academy. In conclusion, Churchill's life and accomplishments served as an example that people can not only overcome childhood disappointments, but use their perseverance and skill set to lead others through words and actions, but to have these accomplishments acknowledged through well-deserved accolades, as well as the accolades from his country. Does anyone have any questions?
I do. How did Churchill become so accomplished without the support and engagement from his father?
Thank you very much, sir. That's a good question. To answer it, I would refer back to Churchill's quote about education, in which he stated he didn't get encouraged or educated in subjects he was most interested in. It wasn't until he was assigned to the cavalry and the military, which was a disappointment to his father, that he gained confidence and leadership skills that ended up with such major accomplishments. The ability to show perseverance rather than to just tell people to do so made him a trustworthy leader and an ally.